The anime industry is on fire right now. And I'm not talking about the good kind. Directors are being harassed off social media. Key animators are being wiped out by outsourcing. AI is threatening to make everything worse, and the people creating your favorite shows are literally working themselves to death for poverty wages. Japan's animation teams have had enough, and today we need to talk about why. Let's start with something that happened just this past week. Something that should be a massive wake-up call for every single person who calls themselves an anime fan. The director for the upcoming highly anticipated One Punch Man Season 3, Shinpei Nagi, deleted his Twitter account. Just gone. And why? Because he was being relentlessly, viciously harassed by so-called fans. And get this, the harassment campaign started before a single frame of the new season had even aired. People were digging into his past work, questioning his credentials, and flooding his mentions with abuse based on nothing but their own toxic expectations. Nagi himself said it was taking a massive toll on his mental health. The man brought in to helm one of the biggest shows of the year was bullied off social media by the very community he was trying to create for. This isn't a one-off incident, it's an epidemic. We saw the same thing happen with Blue Lock Season 2. The animation quality dipped. And who did the fans attack? The animators. It got so bad that one of the animators, a person named Eva Koi, had to literally get on Twitter and beg people to stop. He said, and I quote, "To all people who go and blame animators, harass and make fun of them, please stop. It is extremely not fair." Another animator on the project, Martin King, had to come out and explain that the staff did the best they could under impossible conditions. Let me be crystal clear. If your first reaction to a show you don't like is to attack the creators online, you are not a fan. You are a bully. And you are aiming your anger at the wrong damn target. The animators are the victims here, not the villains. The dip in quality you're seeing in shows like One Punch Man Season 2 and 3, or Blue Lock Season 2, isn't because the animators suddenly forgot how to draw. It's a symptom of a much deeper, much more sinister disease rotting the industry from the inside out. I want you to listen very carefully, because this is the part of the story that most people never hear. A Japanese animator, character designer, and former animation instructor who goes by the name Joni on social media recently dropped a bombshell that exposes the entire rotten system. They explained that for years, a toxic practice has become the norm. The production committees, we'll get to those shadowy figures in a minute, outsource huge chunks of animation work to overseas contractors for dirt cheap prices. This work is often rushed and low quality. Then, this broken, barely finished product is dumped on the desks of Japanese key animation directors.
Why isn't it colored in? Oh, come to think of it, I haven't checked this cut yet.
Now, a key animation director is one of the most important roles in making an anime look good. They are the master artists responsible for ensuring consistency, quality, and the overall feel of the animation. They're supposed to be the guardians of the art. But under this system, their job has become damage control. They are forced to fix mountains of shoddy animation, often completely redrawing entire sequences, under an impossible deadline and for a fixed, insulting per-episode fee. The budget doesn't change. The deadline doesn't move. They are expected to perform miracles for pocket change. And the result? Joni puts it best. The anime industry has already wiped out key animation directors because of this. Let that sink in. An entire generation of master-level artists, the people who ensure the quality of the anime we love, has been burned out, broken, and driven from the industry because it's cheaper to exploit them as a cleanup crew than to pay for quality from the start. They've snapped under the overwhelming pressure. They've resigned. They're gone. So when you see a drop in animation quality, don't blame the animators. Blame the system that has systematically dismantled its own quality control. And just when you thought it couldn't get any worse, a new threat has emerged. A threat that promises to accelerate this race to the bottom. Artificial intelligence. That same animator, Joni, received a job offer recently. The gig? To fix AI-generated animations? They were shown, in their own words, disgusting animations, full of flickering, broken parts, and inconsistencies. The pay? A per frame rate so low it was basically an insult. Joni, being a person of principle, told the client to get lost and never contact them again. But the warning is clear. This is the new playbook. Why pay for skilled animators when you can generate a mountain of garbage with an AI and then hire a desperate, underpaid artist to polish the turds? This normalizes the idea that human artists are just a cheap cleanup crew for machines. It devalues their skill, their artistry, and their very livelihood. Joni warned other animators to be wary of offers that say things like, "We're just testing it out at a low price," or "It's just a partial fix." This is how the cancer spreads. This is how the industry justifies paying artists even less. So, who is behind all of this? Who are the masterminds pushing this broken, exploitative system? It's not the studios, not really. While studios like MAPPA have come under fire for their brutal working conditions, and deservedly so, they are often just another cog in a much larger, much more powerful machine. The real villains of this story are the production committees. Think of the production committee as the Illuminati of anime. It's a coalition of companies, TV networks, manga publishers, music companies, merchandise manufacturers that pool their money to fund a show. They call all the shots. They set the budget. They set the schedule. And, most importantly, they take almost all of the profits. They are a faceless, anonymous group that holds all the power and takes none of the blame. When One Punch Man Season 3's quality is questioned, fans attack JC's staff. But as veteran animators have pointed out, the real problem is likely the production committee, in this case, led by Bandai Namco, who control the budget and the timeline. When Blue Lock Season 2 came out looking like a PowerPoint presentation, the animators had to go on Twitter to explain that the production committee was the one who screwed them over, giving them an impossible schedule and no resources. And the numbers prove it. In 2024, a year when the anime industry's total revenue hit an all-time high, 60% of the actual animation production companies, the studios doing the work, saw declining profits or were operating at a loss. The money isn't going to the people making the anime. It's being funneled up to the anonymous suits on the production committees, who view anime not as an art form, but as just another product on a spreadsheet. This is how you get disasters like the Uzumaki anime. A project hyped for 5 years, with a stunning first episode that proved it could be done right, only to completely fall apart. Why? A producer on the project admitted in a since-deleted post, "We were screwed over." The committee likely pulled the plug on the budget, leaving the team with the horrible choice of releasing a broken, unfinished product or nothing at all. Out of respect for the work they had done, they released it, and a masterpiece of horror manga became a meme. And what does this system, this relentless pressure from the top, mean for the animators on the ground? It means a young animator between the ages of 20 and 24 makes an average of 1.97 million yen a year. That's about $14,600 US. In Tokyo, one of the most expensive cities in the world, that is below the poverty line. Some animators report earning as little as $200 a month. It means working, on average, over 2,600 hours a year. That's a 50-hour work week, every single week, with no overtime pay. Half of all industry workers log over 225 hours a month. It means a third of the entire industry is forced to work without any protection from labor laws, a situation a United Nations report called ripe for exploitation. Yes, you heard that right. The situation has gotten so bad that the United Nations had to step in and call out the Japanese anime industry for its human rights abuses. This isn't just an industry problem anymore, it's a humanitarian crisis. This is the reality behind your favorite shows. While we're binge-watching the latest season of Jujutsu Kaisen, the animators at MAPPA are working themselves to the bone under conditions so famously bad that it's become a running joke. A joke that isn't funny at all. While we're hyped for the next big fight scene, the artists creating it are barely surviving. And the saddest part? 71% of them say they want to keep working in the industry. They are powered by pure passion, and that passion is being exploited until there is nothing left. But it doesn't have to be this way. There are studios that are proving a better way is possible. Kyoto Animation has long been praised for its healthy work environment, providing salaries and training for its employees. Ufotable is known for its meticulous planning and high-quality productions. Toei Animation, the giants behind One Piece, recently announced a break for the anime, specifically to give their animators a deserved rest. It is possible to make incredible anime without destroying the people who create it. So what do we do? How do we, the fans, the global community that holds the real power, force a change? First, stop harassing creators. Full stop. It is counterproductive, cruel, and it targets the wrong people. Your anger should be directed at the production committees and the corporations that perpetuate this broken system. Second, vote with your wallet. Support the studios that are doing it right. Buy the official Blu-rays and merchandise for shows from studios with good reputations. Talk about these issues. Share articles. Make your voice heard in a constructive way. Demand transparency from the production companies. Third, change the conversation. When a show has production issues, don't just mock it with memes. Talk about why. Ask the hard questions. Who was on the production committee? What was the schedule like? Let the industry know that we are not just passive consumers. We are educated, we are paying attention, and we demand better. We are at a tipping point. The passion of Japan's animators, the very fuel of the industry, is running out. They have been pushed to the brink, and they have had enough. If we want this art form that we love so much to survive, if we want to see more breathtaking sakuga, more incredible stories, more moments that change our lives, then we need to stand with the creators. We need to be the allies they desperately need. We need to fight for the soul of anime. Because if we don't, the dream of anime, that beautiful, vibrant, incredible dream, will be nothing more than a memory. And that is a tragedy I don't think any of us are willing to accept.